Hello and welcome back to another video. This is the start of the GT World Challenge Europe Championship. It's currently Wednesday evening and I'm walking the Monza circuit is where we're at today. I've had a long drive today down from Cologne. It was about 800 kilometers or so pretty much 8 hours, and yeah, just got to the track for the evening for the track walkers. This is my first time ever being here, so yeah, working out how close the simulator is to the real thing. I'm going to complete the track walk, head to the track, and then we're going to do a livery reveal tomorrow on live stream. So yeah, by the time this is published, the live stream obviously would have gone out, but make sure you stay subscribed, stay tuned for more hopefully live content coming up over the year. So yeah, let's catch up tomorrow when we hit the track for testing on Thursday. After my testing had finished, I did a live YouTube reveal of the new livery. But the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal of the new car. So here we go. So make sure you head over to that video for the full video where I answer the chat questions, and also you get a full walk around of the livery in pit lane, as well as everything else that was happening in pit lane at the time. It was pretty action packed. So good morning here from the Friday of GT World Challenge Monza, and I am in the Fanatec arena for my practice of the SRO esports race. So as you can see sort of behind me, there's pretty much 30 simulators all set up, ready for all real world drivers that are competing in the Pro Series or Silver Series of the GT World Challenge. There's an event on Saturday night which will be streamed, so make sure you check out the link for that by the time this video is published, and stay tuned for the rest of the races, because there will be an esports race every Saturday evening, or the day before the race anyways, for the whole championship. The crazy thing is that the results in the esports championship score points for the real world manufacturers championship, so it is all to play for and some serious stuff. SRO are raising the bar again and changing the game when it comes to merging esports and real sports. So yeah, I'm more of an iRacing guy, I must admit, so I need to get myself into gear for the ACC program, which means I'll be doing a lot more ACC practice over the year. So yeah, hopefully stay tuned for more of that as well. Yeah, all running Fanatec kit, DD2 wheel, the V3 pedals, one of the baseline sort of Fanatec wheel bases themselves with a shift upgrade, and then this pretty badass curved monitor as well. So yeah, looks proper piece of kit. So yeah, let's jump on to practice and start this new era of motorsports. So that is day 2 done, and even though it was the quiet day, the rest day, I feel knackered. Mainly from the intense sim preparation. Spent a lot of time on there this afternoon trying to get my eye in with Assetto Corsa. Pace is kind of there. So yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes. But it's like anything, I think with sim racing, you get to a point you can't go any quicker and it gets quite frustrating. So I'm glad I stopped when I did, I must admit. We did a cool little photo shoot, which I think will look quite cool as well for the sim racing stuff. And we had some meetings for the real life racing as well. And we made some big changes from the feedback we got yesterday. The guys looked through the data and all the sensors are kind of corresponding with the feedback we're giving. So again, in theory, all of the changes that are proposed make sense. So yeah, looking forward to tomorrow, getting back out in the real car. And then also we've got sim race tomorrow evening as well. So I think tomorrow's going to be a pretty action-packed, pretty busy day. I hope I can jump between the two disciplines without too much hassle. So yeah, now just head back to the hotel, dinner with the guys, and early bed, ready for an early start. Good morning, Italy. Saturday, start of the weekend. The proper start of the weekend. Let's go. So to run you through the format, it is free practice at pre-qualifying and the esports race today. Free practice is just free practice, first official session. And then pre-qualifying is if qualifying can't take place, and they set the grid for pre-qualifying basically, and then the esports later on. So whether it's good, could be a good day. Horse was split between Monza first race and also the NLS Championship at the Nürburgring as well. So we had 2 trucks for the 2 cars that we needed, and then the rest of the trucks were over at the Nürburgring. We were able to monitor our own progress as well as everything that was happening at the Nürburgring as well. So we had the live stream going for the race, and then obviously all of the timing and information that we needed for our event as well. So it was a mega effort by the team to split the team and also be successful at both tracks. So that is the real-life driving part of day 2, Saturday, finished at P10 and P2 in both the sessions, courtesy of Sheldon and Marco's qualifying simulation runs. We made some big changes between the free practice session and then the pre-qualifying session. Some pretty major stuff, but it seemed to make a difference. So that's made the car better again, I think, versus other people in qualifying, trim, and probably more importantly, and more of a difference in the longer runs as well. So hopefully that puts us in a good place for tomorrow. The drivers are all feeling good, drivers are looking good. Sheldon, Marco and I are all super close and consistent on pace as well. So yeah, looks okay. And now the big event of the day, the Fanatec Arena is behind me now. It's about an hour now until the sim racing event, it starts itself. So yeah, the aim for the sim race is to qualify. I think I've got pace for mid-grid, and then stay out of trouble, make a clean race, and see what positions we can pick up. I mean, it's a combination of real racing drivers on a sim race, which is already carnage, and then Monza turn 1 is also carnage. So I'm expecting fireworks on that first lap, and I'm going to try and avoid it as best as I can. So yeah, let's head down to the sim race in a little bit. So it's action-packed here in the sim arena. Qualifying's just finished. Ended up P20, 1 second off the top boys. Kind of pleased with that. It was, considering the experience I've had, it's okay. So let's survive that one and see what happens.
The cream of the GT3 field from Monza this weekend, and as they make the run up towards the line, it is go with a great start made by Otto Rougier from the outside of the front row. He gets the drop on Danny Juncadella down towards the Rettifilio for the first time. Philip Ellis makes a good start to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide for second place as they drop down towards the chicane. Who is going to be the last of the late breakers? With Ezequiel Perez Compank on the outside, there's a real pincer, in the middle of all of which was Juncadella. Ellis gets turned around. Compank is off the road and back on, and there is more mayhem everywhere you look, Ben.
Classic Monza turn 1, I'm afraid. Tumbling down the order as well, so he's made a mistake. Another car heavy into the wall and into the middle of the track.
That was a big hit. Fight going on as well. David Pittard in number 34 versus Marvin Dees. We're riding on board with Marvin now, tapping the tail of the BMW. Come on, David, he says, hurry up, I'm quicker than you, but that BMW is a big beast to try to get past.
And it's got some straight line speed. Look at it pull away from Marvin Dees. Absolutely no chance around here. Obviously, David has got it set up right in that BMW. I know that he was struggling when he first started his 2 hours mandatory practice yesterday. A little bit lost, hasn't had a huge amount of experience on ACC, but whatever he's done with regards to the aero or the gearing of that car, he's checking out.
It's 2.7 seconds to the good. That's David Pittard in 11th place in the BMW, and he is closing onto Drouet for a place in the top 10. So David is half a second back as the two of them make their way up towards the timing line now. We're going to squeeze certainly 2 more laps out of the race.
Now BMW, only one single BMW from Valkenhorst Motorsport, because they entered 2 pro teams into the real world championship, and therefore because they're 2 pro teams they only need to enter 1 pro car into this. If it was a silver team as the second team, then they would have to.
And David Pittard, has he done it? Has he got past Thomas Drouet? Because they've got the BMW coming up ahead of the Mercedes, and I think he has gone by. So David Pittard,
so
yes, into the top 10.
The award ceremony is taking place. Ended up P10, which I'm pretty pleased with. It kind of stuck to my game plan, which was stay out of trouble. I knew I wasn't going to have the pace to be like super fast, but yeah. Stayed out of trouble, nailed everything pretty much apart from my pit stop, which I had the damage fix turned on, so I lost about 25 seconds doing that, but I think I wouldn't have really gained anything, to be fair. So yeah, P10, pretty happy with that, not bad. Top BMW, only BMW. Yeah, now on to the big stuff on Sunday. So yeah, that was pretty fun actually. I look forward to doing this for the rest of the season, and yeah, pretty hell of an event. Good morning here from race day at Monza. It's a bit cloudier than yesterday, it's dry, and both cars are ready for qualifying and the race today. Let's do this.
Pole in the aggregated times about the young Brit David Pittard, based in Cologne these days, and he goes across the line to be 5th. Good effort that in the Valkenhorst BMW. David's another of those drivers that doesn't really get the credit he deserves. Flies under the radar, to use another cliche, but he's a very quick driver indeed.
So it's currently 2:15, so 25 minutes before I need to be in the car. I've just been chilling out in the driver's truck pretty much by myself. It's quite a long gap between 10 o'clock finish of qualifying and then 3 o'clock race, so there's a lot of dead time, and it kind of feels like just waiting for the event to happen. Qualifying P10, I think we can be pretty happy with that. I'm not sure if M6 has ever qualified this high at Monza. I'm starting, which I'm excited and nervous about. I'm used to kind of starting at the Nordschleife, but the Monza turn 1 is notoriously tricky, so see what places we can make up in the first hour for me, but obviously more importantly need a clean car to hand over to the guys going forward. So yeah, gonna get changed in a second and get ready.
Go, because the cars accelerate up towards the line. The lights will blink green in a moment to get the race underway now, and a good getaway by Bortolotti. The Lamborghini just gets the advantage as they make the run down towards the Rettifilio for the first time, but on the outside line, Raffaele Marciello tries to stay with him. Can he outdo the Lamborghini? He can't. Bortolotti is ahead, switches across, takes the line for the corner. Second is Marciello, and do they all get through safely? So far, so good. This is Matt Campbell's view. He could not be closer to the back of Rigon. To his left is Giacomo Altway, but it is Mirko Bortolotti who leads, and that, by Monza standards, John, was a good clean start.
So after 5 laps running in the dry, there was some small pattering of rain on the windscreen, didn't really think too much of it. However, come the 6th lap, the rain got a little bit heavier, and then on the 7th lap, bam, the rain really came over at the Lesmo corners and also the second chicane. It was literally dry coming out the first chicane, and then it was wet on the other half of the track, so you really were having to change your driving from one half of the track to the other. I'm used to that sort of stuff from the Nordschleife, but on such a small Grand Prix circuit like Monza, it was quite a surprise. In all of our engineering meetings, we had not mentioned the word rain once. We were really not expecting it, so it was quite a shock, I think, to all the teams and certainly all the drivers in our team. And we did our best to keep it on the track, keep in a competitive position, just inside the top 10 before the first full course yellow came, and we were able to switch tyres to the wets. After swapping to wets off the restart, I was able to nip past the Ferrari back marker. Going into turn 1 was pretty scary because you couldn't see anything. The brake lights just about stood out. I was able to nip past an AM Ferrari as well before getting into turn 1. The sister car had managed to jump us in the pit stops, so I was determined to get back past Martin, who was driving the car there. And at the second chicane, I was able to line him up sufficiently to get the traction and nip past him to get inside the top 10 again. I was feeling pretty confident and pretty racy in these wet conditions. I was able to make quite a number of positions off of both restarts to run in 8th place when I then eventually pitted and handed over to Marco.
Visibility negligible.
Indeed, so as there, look, 34 BMW, David Pittard gets up past Oscar Chunko, so that puts him into 8th place now. David going really well.
At my driver change, we mistimed the pit timing, so we pitted under full course yellow, but then the full course yellow was cleared literally as I went into pit entrance, meaning we then pitted under green and lost time to drop just out inside the top 20. From then on, the race went from bad to worse.
And now we have a puncture. So there's just over halfway gone, hour and 22 to go. We needed the wets to last at least to the pit window, so an hour and 5 minutes of the race left. But yeah, puncture now. We have to go slicks just to try and gamble and save a pit stop later on in the race. So race weekend done, race debrief done, 2 punctures. The puncture literally happened there, which was obviously 500 meters earlier. We could have boxed, but we had to do a whole lap with a puncture, which I think really killed the race for us. The sister car also had 2 punctures as well. All the cars had punctures. I think it was only Bentley that didn't have a puncture of all of the manufacturers. So it's down to Pirelli's old tyre design, which is pretty terrible really. It's borderline dangerous. So I hope that they can fix the wet tyres soon. Otherwise, yeah, it's dangerous and ruining people's races, ruining people's championships, etc. But anyways, the track dried out at the end. Sheldon put in some mega lap times right at the end there. So we showed that the car had the pace, but unfortunately, yeah, the puncture dropped us a lap down. And in a 3-hour race, we were praying for the correct safety car to come out at the right time to try and make the time back up again. But yeah, it didn't work out this time. So in the end, we were P26, which is really not where we want to be. But I think the package with the drivers, the team, the car has shown some really strong potential at a track where history has proven that the M6 isn't really that competitive. But I think that the team have done a really good job to make the car competitive. So I think that bodes well for the rest of the year. So next GT World Challenge race is Paul Ricard, 6 hours. It's the end of May. Yeah, end of May, so a couple of months now. And in the meantime, we'll head to the Nürburgring for a couple more races there. So we'll catch up next time in Deutschland at the Nürburgring. Until next time, bis dann.